Today we are on a very big adventure. We are no longer in Japan. Isn't that right, Kogi?
Oui, oui.
That's right. We are in South Korea. Currently I'm in Seoul, but today we are taking a very special trip back to Bucheon. Bucheon City is the place that I originally lived in when I moved to Asia in 2008. And some of you are new to King Kogi, and you may not know that about me. So we're gonna go back to Bucheon, which is the birthplace
Oui, oui.
of Kogi. He was just but a young piglet at the time, and now he has an entire kingdom. You've done so well, buddy.
Oui, oui, oui.
He used to have cheeks as well. What happened? I don't know what to expect. The city has rapidly changed in Seoul thus far, so I wonder what Bucheon's gonna look like. Check out a couple of haunts like waffles and maybe a local marketplace and just see what it's all about. But one thing you need to remember is that it's really hot right now. It's very wet. Just remember me as I am. I'm like looking dry right now, but as the video will progress, I'm just gonna get damper looking. So just remember me like this.
Oui, oui.
No, you can stay here and chill. I'll take photos for you because I don't think it's not a world out there for you today.
Oui, oui, oui.
Okay, you can order room service if you want, but just not too much, okay, buddy?
Oui, oui.
Let's go. We'll be taking the local train, heading over the Han River and leaving Seoul, as Bucheon is located in Gyeonggi, a different province altogether. It's relatively quick to get to by bus or train, less than an hour and as quick as 40 minutes, just depends on the route you take. As per tradition, I've managed to get us not lost, but slightly displaced along our journey. This is quite hilarious because when I was living in Bucheon, the train would go one direction and then split, and if you were on the wrong train, you wouldn't go the direction you wanted to. And I was like, no problem, I can figure this out. And immediately took us the wrong direction coming from Seoul.
It's fine.
We're just going back one stop. Finally arrived at Seongdae-yeok, and as soon as we got to the station, I saw people eating waffles, and I was like, the waffles are still here. I think I featured these waffles in my videos like a decade ago. Oh god, so old. But anyways, they're so good. We're getting one right the heck now.
Do you hear me?
Tastes like teaching, tastes like Bucheon High School, tastes like cream, butter, and a little bit of like apple syrup. It's kind of like a honey with apple in it. I can't believe she's still there. After a good start, after a bad start. That's what adventure's all about. Oh my gosh. So they've moved the buses upstairs now, which is like, I guess it makes sense. So they're coming right off like the kind of entranceway, and you catch the buses from up top. But I used to catch the buses from an entire level below. Like this station was probably half the size it is right now.
Bus 83. That goes to Bucheon Girls High School.
This is like literally totally new. Like this entire area didn't exist before. Wow. It's actually quite surreal to be back here and to see how the station has changed. I spent over 3 years coming to the station almost on the daily, but there are some parts of Bucheon that really haven't changed at all. Okay, very funny story. I'm walking over to Bucheon Girls High School, which is where I used to teach. I passed by this place here and I was like, oh my god, memory flashback. This is the first place my school ever took me to try mulnaengmyeon, which is those cold Korean noodles, which I absolutely adore to this day. And nobody told me that I had to cut the noodles because, like, why would they tell me? They're like, of course she knows. you know, it's Korea. I started eating it and I couldn't like chew the noodles through with my teeth because they're quite tough. They're delicious, but they're kind of like tough to bite with your teeth. And as I'm like choking on the noodles, I'm like, oh, one of my coworkers is like, oh, you're supposed to cut them. They take the scissors and they cut them like that. But my first couple years, people didn't really speak English, especially to me. So there was a lot of like gesturing, like, oh, and they helped me out. And then I was like, okay, you have to cut the noodles before you choke to death on them. So if you've watched the Netflix documentary about mulnaengmyeon and the guy says don't cut your naengmyeon noodles, I will highly disagree with that. They give you a pair of scissors, cut the noodles like this and like that, and you're still gonna choke on them because they're quite long, but they're so scrumptious. I can't believe this place is still here. I mean, of course it's still here, why wouldn't it be? Wow. Bucheon Yogo. 3 years. I taught here, loved the school, loved everybody, the staff, the students, they're amazing. And I would get off at the bus down there and I'd waddle here. And in the morning, my students showed me that I could get like this rice ball for breakfast, like jumokbap, it's like a fist-sized rice ball. And the ajumma would put tuna and mayo inside and she'd wrap it with rice like this. It was a huge ball. And then she'd shake it in like chopped fresh seaweed and give it to you wrapped in tin foil. And you'd open it up and just be like this massive ball of rice and kimchi and tuna. And like, I would smell so bad. And I'm like, oh my God, what have you done? But they have toothbrushes inside, like you bring your own brush. Got all emotional. Oh man. I loved the school. I cried so much when I left. One of my favorite haunts, Bucheon, Sandong Shijong. It's Sandong Market, and it's a traditional market that goes all the way down to the end. I used to get gwabegi here, which is like a donut that's kind of twisted and covered in sugar. And I used to get tteokbokki and tangsuyuk, like all these Korean foods in this marketplace. You can get fruits and veg. I did so much grocery shopping here after school, and I'd head home with my groceries being like, I did it, I spoke kind of Korean. I'm curious to see if it's changed, if it's updated, or if it's the same. If it's the same, I'll be happy. If it's updated, that's okay too. Let's check it out. So you could buy all your meat here, all your fish here, tons of different snacks, like those are little tiny snacks that you get at the bar that are like super tasty and addictive, and they would have like street stands coming up next, probably where they're gonna sell it. It's just way cheaper to shop at your local market. It's just way cheaper and fresher. So if you're visiting Korea, if you're living here, find your local market. That's all I gotta say. And this is the size of the stuff you need when you make kimchi. Like, look at the size of the pots, right? It's like huge, like a huge bowl. So when I first moved to Bucheon, I think I was a little bit too intimidated to buy the fish, because even though I'm from Canada and like we have East Coast fish stuff, I was still afraid of like, how do I cook the fish? But like now that I'm seeing the marketplace with the fresh squid and like the tail fish, I'm like, oh, I wish I was living here now with my like confidence of fish cooking, because I'd be like frying all the fish and cooking it. And like the kimchi, the banchan, the side dishes, like it's so much better than buying it at like the grocery store. So that I was okay with, but the fish I was a bit scared of. Now I'm not.
Don't be scared of fish. You can do it.
Oh, it was so nice to come back here and stroll through again. Some of my favorite places are gone. There was like a really good Tangsuyuk Chinese place that used to be here, and like a guabegi place, the donut I was telling you about. But they have other places that look more modern. There's different fruit, there's different fish, and you're kind of like, what is this fruit? What is this fish? I've never seen it before. But you're not going to see that if you're just going to a restaurant. So just stroll through the market, and if you're staying at a hotel, you know, grab some cherries, grab some local melons, like give them a taste and be like, what is this? Oh. Such a nice little stroll down, literally down memory lane, wasn't it? Wow. Now, even if you don't plan on grocery shopping, I love walking through marketplaces in Korea because it's kind of a nice way to shortcut through the city. This is like a couple of blocks and I'm not out by the traffic, I'm just strolling through the fruits. Now let's head to Central Park. Bucheon Central Park, that is. Okay, these are all new, and there's like a Bucheon Art Center. I also lived like over here, and I moved from here, and I went and I lived over there. And all these buildings here, these were not here. So like the skyline has really gotten bigger. Wow. Welcome to Jurassic Park. It's the joke that will never die. This is Bucheon Central Park. This was the place where I lived. I can see my old apartment right here. Like I lived here. Spudgy has pooped all over this park. Half of these trees are fertilized by Spudgy. My friends that used to take care of Spudgy, like Izzy, Spudgy would be in this exact area where he refused to go any further and she had to drag him and he was like, no, I don't want to go. Not because he was in pain or tired, but because he didn't want to go home. If you walked that way, Spudgy would be like, I'm ready. And as soon as you turned, he'd go, no. So many good memories. This is where I saw Kevin from UKISS playing a free festival in this park from my window. And like they were performing on stage and all the girls were screaming before their band got like really big. Just like so many memories. And in my opinion, this is the best park in all of Korea because it has a little watery area, it has a light up walking path, it has so many puppies. Oh, look at this Spudgy puppy. He is channeling Spudgy. Look at this. He wants to go where he wants to go. Oh, he's fine now that she's going the other direction. So Spudgy. Let's see what else the park has going on now because it was actually under construction just as I left and they installed this like beautiful like rainbow path, but I hear like a waterfall. And there was no waterfall when I was living here, so I'm curious to see what else they've added. Ah! That part of the park there was where they'd have a dog meetup on like the weekends, and then the person who takes care of the park would come over and be like, everybody off the grass is just for looking. And so everyone would be like, ah. And if you were a foreigner, you'd be like, moolah yo, as in like, I don't understand, but like I totally did. But it felt like a shame. It's like a huge grassy section that you can't walk on. People are walking on it now. Yay. As you can see, it's pretty loud in Korea, but that's okay. This is the very first restaurant I went to in 2008. I lived just around the corner. I had arrived in Korea and like 2 hours later, I was like, I'm gonna leave the house, I'm gonna explore. I turned the corner, I saw a GS25 and I said, oh, I'll remember the name of that to find my way home. And there's a million GS25s and I got super lost. I came here, first YouTube video ever. This place is so good, okay? I came here for the next many years. If you ever come to Korea and you come to Bucheon City, Bucheon Sundugu, right by the park. So good. Now, I'll be honest, I do have a lot of mixed feelings about being back in Bucheon, since a lot has happened in my life since I've lived here, but I don't want to focus on the negative things and allow them to taint the good feelings and memories I have had. For example, my mom and dad visited me here, and it would be their only trip to Asia before my dad got sick. And my sister and her husband visited too, and I haven't had family visit me since. I made friends in Bucheon that I still talk to this day. Spudgy, Memers, and Kogi, we all started our lives together in Bucheon. Good things and bad things happen in all our lives, but I'm not going to take that out on the city of Bucheon. The goal of this trip was to make new memories with a city that was my first home in Asia. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm off to keep making new memories by eating some delicious chicken washed down by a cold beer. Ooh, look at these noodles. Korean fried chicken, the best. This is like a black vinegar chicken and it comes with these big fat noodles that normally only come with jimdak, but obviously I've been away for so long, things have changed. Sunsal means no bone, and that's the one that I got. Let's give it a go ski. That was too much for one bite. So good. Oh my gosh, can't wait to smash this. We need more beer. I told you I'd become a sweaty mess by the end of the day. Well, I am thrilled, happy, emotional, all the things. I have absolutely adored my trip back to Bucheon. Okay, I know it's a bit off the beaten path for people who want to visit Korea for the first time, you want to go to Seoul, I get it. But if you're the kind of person that wants a little bit more adventure and a little bit more of a kind of like realistic example of what it's like to really live in Korea, come on down to Bucheon. I've been advertising it since 2008. It's just been so awesome. And in my entire time here, everyone is still so friendly. People stopped us to talk about the park in Korean. Old men were like, where are you from? In Korean. I was like, I'm from Canada. I love Bucheon. They were like, what? Like, it's just been so nice. I still love it, you guys. Hope you enjoyed this adventure. And let me know in the comment section if you've been to Seoul or if you've been to Bucheon or anywhere else in Korea. King Kogi out. I've enjoyed myself so much, and I will continue this evening of sweatiness. Guess who's back? Back again. Kogi's back. To the front. Guess who's back? I hope that watching my trek down memory lane has encouraged you all to keep making new memories no matter what life throws at you. Let's keep keeping it cool on the King Kogi airship and float on. Captain Martina signing off.